All right, well, got another little box of goodies here from Diesel Pump UK. Try to get this thing to fix some issues. So for cooling purposes, we got a smaller diameter water pump pulley. We do for building boost, I bought one of their quick spool valves, see if that won't help our long spool times. Got a new thermostat and a relocation bracket for that bottom radiator hose, because how I have it mounted right now has it in kind of a bind. And then just for my fuel leak issues, I bought some genuine Mercedes fuel return line. I got the fuel pump locking tool. Then I've got my tool for pre-chambers and an injector socket. So I just went and kind of bought a bunch of stuff that kind of been not necessarily needing, but things that would be helpful. And now I'm going to jump into pulling this lower radiator hose bracket off. And I'm probably going to pull the radiator back out of the car again, just so the water pump pulley stuff will be easier. But I've already gotten the coolant drained, and I'm going to put water back in it when all this is done and go drive it, do another coolant flush, and then dump that out of it again. And then at that point, I'll refill everything back up with coolant, and we should be a-okay. But I still got a little bit of rust-colored coolant and water showing up in it, so I'm just going to do a couple flushes just to see if I can't get some more of that stuff out. But without further ado, I'm going to jump in to start getting these parts on. Anybody who's wondering that's going to be doing one of these and you're wondering how it works, your thermostat will go into the block as normal. This will sit over your thermostat, and then this piece here with that rubber O-ring will mount here to your angle of choice. So that is how that layout works. It keeps everything still in stock formation at the block with thermostat. Also, if you buy a thermostat and you see this little needle valve deal here, that goes at the top when you set this thermostat in. So now I'm going to get this stuff mounted on there, and I'll show you guys what it looks like once it's up there. Alright, so now we have access to our water pump pulley. So now I need to get a pry bar, pry up on this shock here, pull this belt off, and change this pulley. And hopefully, this belt is really tight on here. I'm hoping that I still won't have to change the belt. But if I do have to change the belt, I'll have to change the belt. It is what it is, but we'll see how that goes. All right, so I got the water pump pulley off. So this is your stock one off your stock. This is the new one. As you can see, it is significantly smaller all the way around. Ought to move that water pump a bit faster, get water circulating a little bit more. This water pump is also a Diesel Pump UK water pump. It's got a stainless impeller instead of a plastic one that comes on your standard Mercedes. So another little upgrade there, but that's something I did in the past because I had actually a leaking water pump. So without further ado, I'm going to throw this one on here and try to get this belt back on here. Hopefully, we still have plenty of belt for this. If not, I might have one here, but I think I only have longer ones, so we'll just have to get a belt ordered. But I'll throw this on here real quick and give you an update then. Alrighty, well, got a new belt on there. I had a belt actually back there already, so about an inch shorter. So we got a nice tight belt on there. Everything is ran correctly. New water pump pulley is on. So now we should be able to run some more RPM on that water pump, send some more coolant through there. Hopefully that's a-okay. I am, however, going to send off this radiator to get double checked on, make sure it doesn't have any leaks, because I was having some coolant coming out of the fins and stuff sometimes. So I think there's a leak on there. There might not be. It might just be stuff in the cooling fins, but I'll send it off. Send it to our radiator guy. He'll just put it in a tank, pressure it up, see if any air bubbles come out of it. If not, we're all good, and we'll throw it back in here. So that should be something that won't take more than a day. Other than that, at this point, the only thing I have left is a quick spool valve. I need to run to a hardware store to get a T to run another boost line from there over to it so that it will work correctly. So I'm not going to pull this off until I get all that stuff in. And then I'm also going to have to figure out how to get my EGT gauge stuff working again, because if I take that spacer out to put that quick spool valve in, then I will no longer have EGT that's screwed into that spacer there. So I got to figure out how I'm going to do that. But after that, once that's mounted on, we should be able to put this thing on trans brake, listen to a spool, and see what it does. So I am now going to kind of clean this stuff up a little bit more organized. I am going to go put that shifter cover back on there now that the shifter's fixed. And other than that, I'm going to be done for the night. So next time I see you guys, we'll be putting that radiator back in and installing that quick spool valve. So I'm going to get some stuff cleaned up here and head to the hardware store, and I will see you guys when we get back. All right, well, we're back. Kind of forgot to start recording a little bit, but as you can see up in here, we got our quick spool valve installed with some diesel pump UK gaskets and such. I do got to figure out how to get my EGT gauge stuff working again, since I removed that, and with that quick spool valve I can't have it where I used to in the spacer, so I'm gonna have to figure something out on that. But I got it installed underneath the turbo and got a line ran, and I'm about to make my last connection on it over here. I put this T on, so I've still got my boost for Alda, my boost for the boost gauge, and then I'm just running this over here. And I got a bar fitting right in there, and I'm running that plastic tube to it with a hose clamp. That way we ought to be able to just tie all this stuff together, throw the boost pipe back on there, and then we could test it. So everything will be done and completed and back together here in a minute. Radiator is back in. I don't know if I've showed that yet or not, but radiator's back in. The only thing I gotta do is, for now, tie up this probe until I figure out something else to do for it. So we're just gonna run this over here, tuck it in, and zip tie it, and we'll just come back to that later and fix that to where the EGT gauge and everything is working again. So I'm going to finish this last connection over here and then put this thing together. I think, unfortunately, right now it is currently raining or snowing. It's been doing both, so might not run out there yet. But if we catch a break in the rain, I'm going to go out there and warm this car up and put it on the brake and see if it gets up on the trans brake faster. So fingers crossed, hopefully it's a big improvement. So we'll see how it works out, but I'm excited for it. So let's get back to work. All right, so I got everything installed here. So just for a little bit of light, we got that T there, and it's the boost lines ran all the way around and down, staying away from the exhaust. Then it comes over here and runs into there. So quick spool valve is on, boost piping is on, everything's together. I gotta do a little bit of cleanup for my greasy hands. But I'll try to get that cleaned up. Only thing left to do is to take it outside and put it on the brake. That might not be today because rain and whatnot going on right now. So we'll see where that goes from here. But for now, this is going to be it for now until I can get some better weather. Once I get some better weather, I will pull this thing out here we'll see how well this works. I'm really excited between the new water pump pulley and that. I might have my issues fixed, so I've got my fingers crossed and I'm hopeful, so we'll see how it goes. All right, so we are back. We got the quick spool stuff ready to go. Everything's connected. We got a nice bird blue sky outside, so we're gonna go ahead and start this thing up and see what it'll do. We're gonna hope that it gets up on the trans brake easier and better. But before I do that, I need to start this thing up and go drive it around a little bit, get some heat in the trans and the motor, and then we'll stop and we'll set the brake and see what it does. Well, all right. Quick spool valve deal does seem to work, although I did do a little tuning on the pump. I pulled some fuel out at the very beginning. So I'm sure a little bit of tuning could have helped that to begin with in the first place, considering how much smoke the car made before. But overall, it did make an improvement. Now, it's still not as fast as I would like it to be, so I am going to mess with the pump a little bit more. It just might end up being something where if I really want a quick spool times, I'm gonna have to just get a new turbo. But before I go and buy a new turbo, right now I think we're close enough to where I could roll in, with the first beams, start spooling up, try to spool first, and then bump into the second beams, and we would be within our amount of time and be able to just leave off a reaction. But going back to that, I'm going to be doing some more tuning, and as soon as I can go get it on my uncle's dyno, we're going to just mess with it for a full day. We're even going to disconnect the quick spool valve and then rehook the quick spool valve up, basically to see like what that power ratio does, because according to Luke from Diesel Pump UK, who I talk to quite often, and he's a guru of these things, he shows 1,000 RPM of power difference, so coming in 1,000 RPM sooner for max power. And since you have max boost sooner with your fuel range, you tend to make more power. So we're going to test that, just see it, see what it does, and we're going to tune a little bit and see what all we can get out of it, if we can get it to spool up faster or not. But at the end of the day, it did make a significant difference. We are building boost faster. The day I was even doing this testing was a 75-degree day, so it was hot weather. Right now it's like 40 degrees outside. I bet if I went and tried it now, it would build boost super quick. but that's with great air. So we're not always going to have that kind of air, so we're going to have to deal with what we can get. But without further ado here, the rest of this video is going to be clips of some of my latest rides that I've given people. So we're going to roll into some reactions here and enjoy the end of this video.
fucking V12 fucking Lamborghini